How beautiful.
Here?
Yes, that's fine.
Oh, are you feeling better?
Yes. Wonder who they're from. Probably from Daddy. He's always sending me flowers. Oh, how cute.
Where did you pick up the flowers?
They were at the front desk. I thought I was doing her a favor by delivering them myself.
Why's that?
Well, sometimes when we're all busy, the gifts at the nurse's station can just sit here for hours.
And the flowers are delivered by whom?
I don't know. They were on the desk with a lot of others.
There's nothing unusual about that.
No.
Okay, that's all for now. I want you to watch the door. Absolutely no visitors, even if it's a doctor to get his name and ID.
Right.
How's the patient?
No longer hysterical, but still very unsettled.
One of my men's watching the door. There's nothing short of attempted murder here.
Are you on my staff?
No, sir. I work for the Kingsley Police.
Don't look so imposing. Is he yours?
Yes, I'm taking every precaution.
Does he have to be in uniform?
That's the idea. Protection, intimidating a would-be assailant.
All we have here are has-been assailants. You're working after the fact. How is she?
Regaining composure, Lester. I have the feeling there's more in her mind than what just happened.
How's that?
I can't pin it down, but I think she's coming to grips with more than this isolated incident.
Well, I'll have the nurses refer any press inquiries to my office on the other side of the building.
I'm sorry he's such a public embarrassment.
I have patients on this floor with heart conditions. I don't need them thinking this is the Gestapo.
Dr. Thompson, what's wrong with Miriam?
I called Mr. Carpenter.
I know, but you didn't explain. What is it now?
Sir, we've had a relatively minor problem with Miriam, but it's all been handled.
Is she all right?
Someone sent your daughter flowers, and with the flowers there was a box with barbiturates.
Barbiturates? Who did this?
I'm here to find out.
Now, you realize that if the pills are concealed like that, the hospital has virtually no way of detecting them.
It could be the way Miriam overdosed in the first place. Second, all gift wrapped.
I want to see her.
No, I'm sorry, not tonight. Maybe tomorrow, but I can't promise then either.
Doctor, please.
No, as you can see, her room is being guarded. I'm advising that she be sedated with a mild tranquilizer. This incident has upset her.
More pills.
Under medical supervision. It's best for her mind and body to rest now.
Poor Miriam.
Oh, Gene, you gave me a little scare there.
Hey, Mom. Guess this feels so much like home I forgot to knock. Sorry.
Well, what's weighing so heavy on your heart, son?
Carla. Mom, look, I'm glad you're here. I need someone to talk this out with.
Gene, my man, you want a cup of coffee?
Leon, what are you doing here?
He's my dinner guest.
I'm the waiter, she's the cook.
Gene was just about to share something that was troubling him.
Yeah, well, Mom, it can wait.
Listen, I know when it's time to
Hey,
leave.
Leon, no, man, that's okay.
Hey, no insult. There's probably something with your wife you want to talk over with your mother.
Yeah, well, you're right there.
A little marital discord you don't want to air with me.
Mm-hmm.
I hear from Carla.
All right, hey, look. Look, okay, all right. Look, I'll tell both of you. I mean, Carla has turned the clock back 2 years, and now she wants to go back to singing.
When'd she say that?
This afternoon. I can't understand the woman.
Have you ever heard her sing?
That's not the point, Leon.
She's real good.
I know
Gene.
she's good.
Had a career before.
Leon, man, why don't
Have
you
you
just...
talked this over with Carla?
You know how she is, Mom, when she comes to this. For crying out loud, the pieces were all falling together. Our marriage, the job, and Jimmy. I just can't understand what's wrong with her.
Well, She isn't saying she's leaving you, is
Well,
she?
she practically is,
You're
yes.
jumping to conclusions, Gene. She probably wants to help the household with a little extra income.
Yeah, I'm making enough money as it is, Leon.
To live. She's used to better than that.
No, you're wrong. She wants to be fulfilled.
Well, who doesn't? Don't let that insult your male ego. You need more than her to be satisfied.
Hey, Leon, why don't you just go and brew another cup in the kitchen?
Hey, man, I wanted to leave. You wouldn't let me.
So I made a mistake. Mama, what am I gonna do?
Go home, Gene.
What?
Talk it over with Carla. Now, I'm hearing a lot lately about how things have changed between you two.
Yeah, Mom, up until this.
This doesn't count. Now, it's all right to have problems, Gene, but 2 years ago, you didn't have the maturity or the love to talk them out. Now, that's what's changed. Go home, Gene. And don't come running over here for answers when they're right in your own living room.
Yes?
Mrs. Davison, I'm Sergeant Lasky. I'm working on the Mason case while Sergeant Brubaker's away. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Oh, certainly. Please, come on in.
Thank you. I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
No, I was just trying to catch up on some reading.
Anything interesting?
Well, I was looking over some exotic Japanese dishes, but you know, I think the food in the hospital cafeteria has destroyed my taste buds.
I think I know what you mean. I'm not married, not anymore, and I usually end up in some greasy spoon.
Well, how can I help you, Sergeant?
You've been told about Mrs. Mason?
Yes, Mr. Lewis called me.
Well, I have a few questions about your sister Nancy.
I expected as much.
Based on what Sergeant Brubaker's already told me, Nancy has admitted to giving Miriam the pills the first time.
Well, she admitted it privately. To you, she'd deny it.
Yes, of course. We need proof. But first, motivation. Maybe that'll get me pointed in the right direction. You know, I don't mind telling you, but I can't figure Nancy. What with you being sisters and the two of you being diametrically opposed in ambition, personality, it's pretty difficult to believe that you come from the same background.
That's how you made Detective Sergeant, right?
What do you mean?
My background is as different from Nancy's as our personalities. Few people know this. As a matter of fact, I kept it from my children. Nancy and I are half-sisters. She was born to a woman who was seeing my father, and my mother adopted her.
But you grew up together.
With deep-seated rivalries and jealousies, and, well, actually, I didn't know the truth about Nancy until my mother told me right before her death.
I see. Well, so help me put this together as it relates to our problem right now. What's driving Nancy to do these things? Why is she trying to kill off one of her few friends?
Sometimes I think Nancy's trying to relive her past. That Miriam's me, and that she wants Miriam out of the way so she can have Mr. Carpenter's attention to herself.
Ah, just as she wanted you out of the way in order to capture her mother's love.
Yes. Not a pleasant scenario, but you add Mr. Carpenter's inheritance and you have the reason for her behavior.
Mom? There's a police car out here. Oh, something wrong?
Just some family-related matters.
And Nancy's at it again, huh?
Peter.
So that's the story. We sedated Miriam just before I left. Lester's having fits.
Did anyone get a chance to talk to her about the flowers?
Detective Lasky plans to do that tomorrow if she's up to it.
Well, I appreciate you coming over and filling us in.
Maybe you could return the favor? How about a little background on the Carpenter family? You've known them a long time?
Well, Lori has longer than I have.
It's pretty complicated.
And unbelievable. You know, we've never been able to pin it on Charles Carpenter. But we're pretty sure that he's the one who torched my office to get me out.
Oh, yes, the shopping mall.
And I had a run-in with Miriam a long time ago.
I thought you two were friends.
Well, that's a friendship that Lori has worked at, and recently.
Miriam once accused me of having an affair with her ex-husband.
All concocted by Charles Carpenter to get Miriam out of the marriage.
I wondered where her husband was.
And her mother left her also.
Where's she?
No one knows. But you can bet Charles has something to do with that, too.
Any way you cut it, it comes back to him, doesn't it? But still, I'm sure that his anxiety over his daughter is genuine.
Why are you so interested in the family?
I want to help. You know me, Ben. Holistic medicine. Miriam's problems are primarily emotional. I can't do much as a doctor until I can understand the source of the illness.
That's nobody's secret.
Nancy's the source.
Well, how does that tie in with Charles? I thought he was at fault.
Well, they're together, as in together.
Oh, I'd think that would be lethal.
For Miriam, it almost has been.
You're back. I was worried about you. Where'd you go?
The hospital.
Oh, how's Miriam?
She received some flowers with a little gift attached. Some secanols.
When did that happen?
This afternoon,
Well, what could it mean, Charles? I mean, is it some kind of joke?
well, I've already decided that I wouldn't ask you the meaning of it. As for myself, I don't know what to think.
Only Norm Elliott could do something as sick as that.
Norm Elliott is in a maximum security prison. And when will you stop using him to explain every mystery or trauma that seems to come our way?
Well, how is Miriam?
She's alive. Despite somebody's efforts, she's alive.
How are you this morning, Mrs. Mason? I slept well. Guard's been posted outside your door. I'm afraid you won't be able to have visitors for a while. I don't want to see anyone. The patient doesn't want breakfast, Doctor.
Thank you. You're looking rested, Miriam.
I am. How are you, Doctor?
Quite concerned about you, actually.
I'm getting to feel really important around here. I even have my own guard.
There's a sign of prestige.
You've got a lot more than that, too. All the nurses and the entire security staff have been notified. Nothing will come into this room unless it's thoroughly screened.
And no visitors, right? That's what the nurse told me.
Not for a while. Detective Lasky would like to ask you some questions.
Sure, anything I can do to help. 'Cause I'm getting to feel like a real nuisance.
Hey, now don't say that.
Well, it seems that everybody's worried about me. They either want to see me or ask me questions. Why is it I don't feel very flattered? There was a time, though, I would have done just about anything to get this kind of attention.
Actually, we're very fond of you here.
Well, you should be. I mean, after all, you're making a mint on this care.
She's in comparatively good spirits.
What's the blurb we should use for Lester for our prognosis?
I think cautiously optimistic will do.
Gentlemen, how's Miriam?
We were just in to see her.
She's awake?
Yes, and smiling faintly.
Well, I don't mind telling you I had a very bad night. I don't think I slept an hour and a half.
Well, we understand your worries, but all we can do now is wait.
And visit.
I'm sorry, Mr. Carpenter, but I think it's best that Miriam have no visitors.
But you said last night that...
I said possibly. I made no promises.
Yeah, it's for Miriam's own good.
What is? Keeping her father from visiting her?
No. Keeping her from as many emotional encounters as possible. Please, please be patient. In time, you'll be able to see her.
Oh, this is ridiculous. You said she was doing so well.
And I think we shouldn't jeopardize that.
She'll only be seeing members of our staff.
There will be others. Detective Lasky, for one.
Now, just a minute.
We have to get to the bottom of this.
Oh, you'd let her go through a barrage of questions but deprive her father from visiting her.
It's a security problem.
What security?
For security reasons, Mr. Carpenter, Miriam will not be seeing you, your friend, or anyone else until the detective has had the opportunity to question her. Call that administrative ignorance, mismanaged security, or just plain old looking out for number one. You're not going in there.
Busy?
Hi, hon, come on in. Do I look busy?
Uh-huh.
Ready?
Are used to get sent to the principal's office for that.
What do you mean? I was working. That wasn't some idle diversion, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You see the cut on this wing? Aerodynamically sound, unlike the wind barriers that the city has ordered for the lakefront.
Oh, and you're going to explain that to them, huh? Using your toy at the next council meeting.
Toy? Why, that's an audio-visual aid.
Oh, too much sun, Dad.
Get out of here. What'd you want to see me about, anyway?
Since when do I need a reason?
Well, you don't, but I just assume you had one the way you've been acting lately.
And how's that?
Well, cautious, asking questions.
I'm just rehearsing you for your debates and your press interviews.
Well, you were asking a lot more about public issues. That thing is never gonna fly.
I'll be quiet. Something's been bothering me.
Urgent?
Well, I think it's time you know. I realize you're busy.
Oh, no. Prescott's fourth law of relationships. Always find out what's bothering your daughter immediately. You never know.
It's not that.
All right, what's his name?
No.
Come on.
It's about Gil.
Oh?
I think it's time you know. Remember the snitch system you set up when Gil and I were kids?
Well, sure, that was Prescott's 17th law of relationships. Always tell Daddy what Brother's been doing behind Daddy's back.
And vice versa.
Well, as I recall, you did most of the informing.
Well, times haven't changed. I just don't enjoy it like I used to. Yesterday, I asked you if you had talked to Gil, and you said no.
What's up, Marianne?
Well, I think it's time you know, Dad. Gil, he was arrested the night of graduation for driving under the influence.
Terrific. Just terrific. That was 2 weeks ago.
Well, I waited for him to tell you on his own. Did I do the wrong thing?
No, you did all right. When will he stop?
Maybe I shouldn't have told you, but with the election coming up, I felt you should know.
Won't the press just love this?
Well, he has an attorney, Dina Greeley.
Alex's niece.
I don't see how he's going to get out of this one.
He kept this from me. I can't believe that he would keep a thing like this from me.
Well, this is hardly as much fun as snitching on him for smoking in the choir loft.
Marianne, thanks for telling me, hon.
Sure. That's 2 favors I've done for you. The information on Gil and another audiovisual aid. Well, 1.5.
The doctors tell me that you're ready for some questions. I hope you agree.
I want to help Detective Lasky. I really do.
Good. You know, from what I found out, you travel in a pretty tight circle. Outside your father and Nancy Lawson, you have relatively few friends.
Well, I do know Lori and Terry a little bit, and Dr. Martin.
Fine people. But those are friends you've made since you've been in the hospital. And very frankly, I don't see them as suspects.
So do you suspect Daddy and Nancy?
I don't know. Am I reaching too far?
Oh, I had this nightmare, Detective Lasky, and it really petrified me. Well, I'll tell you if you really need to hear everything, I guess.
Well, go on. What did you dream?
Well, you see, it was kind of fuzzy. And Nancy was in it.
I got these for you because I really care about you.
What was Nancy doing?
She wanted to help me.
How?
Come on.
Nancy, I don't want these.
Now keep them. With all these saints buzzing around here, you're going to need something to help you sleep.
I can't.
No, now don't thank me. I'm only trying to help. This place is so depressing that you're going to need something to help you rest. And between your mother and being who knows where and your father not really caring and all those Davidsons, I mean, it's a wonder you're not more upset than you are.
She was giving me pills.
Just a dream?
I think so.
Or did it really happen and you can't face it?
I don't know.
Miriam, you've been through a lot. I understand that. But if you're reaching out for someone, somebody to help, there are others besides Nancy. You don't have to protect her.
No, but you see, Nancy has been with me through this whole thing.
Is it possible she caused it all?
No, it was just a dream.
Was it, Miriam? Really? Or do you want to believe it was a dream? Because the thought that Nancy tried to kill you is a reality too terrible for you to face. Miriam, if it was just a dream, why did it scare you so? You've been on drugs for months now, and you've had countless dreams. Why is this one so distressing, so tangible?
Now, I'm sorry. Can you just please leave? I can't go.
All right.
Go.
All right. If you want to see me, tell the doctors. They'll get in touch with me.
Nancy, why did you do it? Collecting for the Police Athletic League?
I've got some questions I'd like to ask you, Mrs. Lawson.
Do I have to answer them?
I'm not going to haul you down to the station if that's what you mean.
Bye-bye.
I expect this much. I got two things I want to tell you. First, Miriam is doing better and better. She's getting her appetite, strength, and her memory back. And secondly, I think you did it, Mrs. Lawson. I think you tried to kill Miriam Mason, and I'm going to prove it.